even back then when I was a part of all that madness and mayhem or being exposed to it, see, my mom raised me, you know what I'm saying, in church. So, you know, even with all the madness going on, I still had things that gave me a certain sense of clarity, even though that clarity might not have been my go-to, I still had it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying, that when they say train up a child in the way they should go when they're older would not depart from them, hey man, I'm a living walking testimony of that, because even though I went totally wayward of how I was raised, I mean, you know what I'm saying, that deal end up, you know what I'm saying, returning back, you know.
That's powerful. And so I think that's a moment of encouragement for our viewers, because as we dive deeper into this interview, you're going to be able to see that that he lived a life that that probably would have gave most parents hell,
Oh
essentially,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
definitely.
but to hear this man in his 40s now be able to give reference back to God, I think there is a moment of encouragement for parents to think that just because it starts a certain way doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to end that way, right?
I love it.
Yeah. And so that's just a moment of encouragement for our viewers, right? So as we dive back into it or whatever, and so you affiliated, you got this nickname that people are knowing you for, whatever the case may be. And then you talked about selling dope a little bit earlier for feeding your own habits. Was there a period of time where that's what you lived off of, or tell me more about that?
Oh, well, you know, it perpetuated, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, first it was just trying to just maintain my habit. But then, you know, as I'm around the environment, you know what I'm saying, in the element of it, it's like it began to grow and within me a more hunger and desire to gain and to get more. Like I'm like, oh, okay, I don't have to just be, you know what I'm saying, using this as a, you know what I'm saying, a form to just, you know what I'm saying, maintain my habit. I can eat off this in other ways. You know, I can, you know what I'm saying, I can make a living off of this. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, that's what I was exposed to anyway.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm trying to figure out my own way, you know, but as I'm, you know what I'm saying, maintaining my level of peace by, you know, seeking this refuge in marijuana, so to speak,
Yeah.
then it began to, you know what I'm saying, have me where I feel like I can gain a, you know what I'm saying, a profit off this in ways that, you know what I'm saying, I feel like I can capitalize.
That's good. And so you capitalizing off the profits of selling marijuana, right? How old are you at this time? Help the listeners kind of put a
Uh,
timeline together.
I started smoking probably like, well, I mean, the first time I started smoking probably like 11 or something.
11. Okay.
Yeah, I smoked. You know, it wasn't like a bad habit then. I was just, you know, hitting little joints or whatnot.
Yeah.
But that just, you know, it just mutated into something more. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's how I started off. Just from smoking like at 11, and then at 12 and 13, I began to. I knew I had a little bit of a habit at that point. So then I tried to, you know, I didn't want to be, I'm not no moocher or nothing. I'm not finna be always, you know what I'm saying, trying to smoke off of somebody else, you know.
Right.
So I did what I, you know what I'm saying, I did what I felt like I had to, you know, provide my own, you know,
Yeah.
substance.
Absolutely. So you 12, 13, trying to provide for your substance per se. And so what was, I mean, when we talk about being in school, like what was that like? Like you doing all this and you 14 years old. How was school for you?
It was school it started off good until, like you said, well, 14, that's when it really started getting bad, because that's high school. You know, school, up until high school, I had a, you know what I'm saying, I had a 3 point something GPA, like, you know, 3.5, 3.6, something, you know what I'm saying, I had a, you know what I'm saying, a good GPA, but when I got in high school, that's where the issues started arriving. And it's based off the separation in neighborhoods and so forth and so on, because I had to go to Westport. That was the only school available at the time, and that was supposed to be something like a blood school. My neighborhood is like a Crip neighborhood. So I'm going to school. Like you said, I'm affiliated, and so I'm going to school wearing blue at Westport, and they wasn't having it. But I wasn't budging either, though. So they telling me to, I got to change my attire. These is my peers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These is other kids at school talking about I can't come to school in that. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, do something about it. So it's like I'm fighting every day. You know what I mean? And so,
And you 14, fighting over colors essentially, right?
yeah, I would really wasn't on no Crip type time. It's just my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? That's what we wore. Like it's like basically a product of my environment. I wore what my neighborhood wore. And so when I'm going to school, I really wasn't on no Crip time. Like I would in my mind, it was some playtime to me. I'm like, man, I associated with Crips, but when it come down to hurting somebody or fighting somebody over a red and blue, I believe the purpose of God was, I think it would have been integrated in me to a point to where I'm like, that has no purpose in it.
Yeah.
Even at, you know what I'm saying? Even at that age and stage of my life, I still was like, it just was pointless to be fighting you over a neighborhood or a color. It just,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
Absolutely.
when they was telling me not to wear, so I felt some kind of way. You telling me, I just felt like you was violating my rights. You telling me I can't wear blue. You know what I'm saying? That'd be like me telling you can't wear red. You know what I'm saying? Now, even if I don't agree with it, I'm gonna keep my opinion to myself. I even had that mindset back then.
Yeah.
It wasn't that serious to me. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said I still was different. You know what I'm saying? And so, but anyway, so I got in the fights because I was standing on my own little, and you know what I'm saying, my own little pride of, nah, you ain't finna punk me though.
Yeah.
That's one thing about it. Red or blue or whatever, I just wasn't finna be punked by nobody. It don't matter who you was, you know what I mean?